Welcome students, my name is Irfan Ahmed and today we are going to study the topic that is digestive system. We have already studied about the various parts of the digestive system and now we will study about the various accessory glands which are associated with the digestive system. So the first associated gland of the digestive system, that's pancreas. Okay. So what is the function of the pancreas? The most pancreatic enzymes, these are produced as inactive molecules or we call them as zymogens, so that the risk of self digestion within the pancreas is minimized. Means the pancreas contains those enzymes which are in the inactivated, which are either inactivated or called as zymogens. And why these are inactivated? Because the self digestion, the problem of the self digestion of the pancreas, that will be minimized. And more than 90% of pancreas mass, that is exocrine, and 2% of the pancreatic mass is endocrine. Okay, so it has both the functions. It is both exocrine as well as endocrine. So pancreas performs both the functions. So its exocrine function is the secretion of pancreatic juice by the pancreatic acini and their ductile cells. Okay, so the ductile cells, these produce sodium bicarbonate, which helps neutralize the acidic gastric contents. You can see clearly the diagram of the digestive system. This is the diagram. This is the diagram of the pancreas. Liver is also here. This is the liver. This is pancreas. This is duodenum, and here it is superior mesenteric vein. This is superior mesenteric artery. This is spleen, esophagus. This is celiac axis, liver, gallbladder, and portal vein. Echinor cells, these perform the exocrine functions, and they produce a variety of digestive juices which help to break down food substances into smaller absorbable molecules. So the only 2% of the mass, the rest of the only 2% of the mass is endocrine. Okay, so that is devoted to the isolates of Langerhans, which are the main cells producing insulin and glucagon that regulate the human blood sugar level and carbohydrate metabolism. So both glucagon and insulin are there. So there are the major pancreatic enzymes like pancreatic amylase is there, pancreatic lipases are, pancreatic nucleases, pancreatic proteinases. Okay, the amylase has the work to digest to polysaccharides and convert into disaccharides. The lipases have the work to digest triglycerides into fatty acids, and nucleases, these have the work to digest nucleosides, nucleic acids into nucleotides, and pancreatic proteinases. Okay, these digest peptides into amino acids. So all pancreatic proteinases are secreted in their inactive forms. And one more, there is a trypsinogen that is activated by enterokinase, that is secreted by duodenum into trypsin, which in turn activates the three other enzymes like chymotrypsinogen into chymotrypsin, proaminopeptidase into aminopeptidase, and procarboxypeptidase into carboxypeptidase. So this diagram, this is the flow diagram which will show you how the enzymes are converted from their inactive states into their active states. So from pancreas this comes, and in here in duodenum, this is the membrane bound enterokinase which converts trypsinogen into trypsin, chymotrypsinogen into chymotrypsin, procarboxypeptidase into carboxypeptidase. This all happens, this all process is happening in the intestinal lumen. So pancreatic secretions. What pancreatic secretions? These are the parasympathetic nervous system increases pancreatic secretion. Parasympathetic nervous system, which is present in the human beings, this increases the pancreatic secretion. And there are also two duodenal hormones which are produced from the duodenum which influence the pancreatic secretion, like secretin and cholecystokinin. Okay. So food entering the small intestines which stimulates the secretion of both the hormones, that is secretin and cholecystokinin. And secretin stimulates the secretion of pancreatic electrolyte rich fluid. It enhances the enzymatic secretions of the pancreas. So the pancreatic regulation, pancreatic juice regulation, it is done by acidic chyme that enters into the duodenum, secretin that is released into the bloodstream from intestinal mucosa. Secretin that stimulates pancreas, pancreas creates pancreatic juice high in bicarbonate ions neutralize acidic chyme. And this is the flow diagram which shows that when acidic chyme enters duodenum, it causes enterocrine cells of the duodenal walls to release secretin. Okay, this secretin While fatty acid induces release of cholecystokinin, then these enter into the bloodstream, and then these produce the secretions of pancreatic juice increase by this cholecystokinin and secretin. So these both have a direct effect on the secretions, cholecystokinin and secretin. So now the functions of the liver. So liver is important in carbohydrate metabolism via the liver cells, that is hepatic cells. These conduct either glycogenesis or glycogenolysis or lipogenesis. Glycogenesis means converting glucose into glycogen. Glycogenolysis meaning breaking glycogen down to glucose. And lipogenesis means convert glucose to fatty acids. This all is the function of the liver. Okay. Or lipid metabolism, it is a critical in lipid metabolism while the cells produce bile, oxidize fatty acids, synthesize various forms of lipids and convert glucose to fatty acids. So the digestive tract has other functions of the liver. These are the storage of glycogen, iron, vitamins A, D, B12. It contains phagocytosis that destroy damaged erythrocytes and foreign substances by the process called phagocytosis, means cell eating, and it also serves as a blood reservoir. Now there is another structure, that is gallbladder. It is a small sac that is located on the visceral surface of the liver and stores concentrated bile. And regulation of bile release, that is done by chyme, which enters with fat enters small intestine. And the cells of intestinal mucosa, these secrete the hormone cholecystokinin into bloodstream, already discussed. And CKK stimulates the muscular layer of gallbladder to contract. Then bile passes down the cystic duct and common bile duct to duodenum. Then hepatopancreatic sphincter that releases the bile and enters the duodenum. So this all is the regulation of the bile release. You can see from the here. This is gallbladder. These are gallstones. This is duodenum, pancreas, pancreatic duct. Okay, gallstone, cystic duct, hepatic duct. You can say that this is left hepatic duct comes from the left side of the liver, right hepatic duct from right side of the liver. This is cystic duct, this is common hepatic duct, gallstone, pancreas. Now small intestines, it is a long tube with small diameter extending from pyloric sphincter to ileocecal valve. It has three parts: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. There are various secretions like intestinal gland secrete watery fluid. It does not have any digestive enzymes, but it provides a vehicle for moving chyme to villi. Intestinal enzymes include like maltase digests maltose into glucose, sucrose digests sucrose into glucose and fructose, lactase digests sucrose into glucose and glucose, and peptidases, these digest peptides into amino acids. And lipase, it digests triglycerides into fatty acids and glycerol. Nucleases, these digest nucleotides. Enterokinase converts trypsinogen into trypsin. Digestive enzymes, these are embedded in the surface of microvilli. They split molecules of sugars, proteins, fats. And the regulation of these small intestinal secretions, that is controlled by the secretin, that is stimulated by gastric juice, chyme, and reflex, stimulated by distension of the small intestinal wall. So here you can see the structure of the digestive tube. This is outer layer, peritoneum, muscle coats, longitudinal muscles, circular muscles, lining of tube, that is submucosa, mucosa, folds which increase surface area. These are the folds you can see which increase the surface area. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E here: muscle, submucosa, intestinal glands, villi. This is from the cross section area taken from here. So this was all about the today's lecture. So in next topic we will continue about the digestive system and its functions. Thank you.